Since 2017, a shocking reality unfolds in Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. China's reported crackdown on Turkic Muslim minorities has led to the detention of over a million individuals in internment camps. Reports of forced indoctrination, torture, and sexual abuse emerge from these facilities. More than 600,000 Uyghurs and other minorities are sent as cheap labor to factories in different parts of China. The Chinese Communist Party defends this as a re-education strategy against radical religious movements and terrorism. In this video, we are going to discover the unique insights gained from analyzing 174 countries' responses between 2019 and 2021. From naming and shaming to explicit endorsements or surprising silence, we are uncovering the patterns behind these diplomatic moves. It's understandable that some countries name and shame other countries' governments when these governments are involved in some forms of repression or human rights violation. But in this case, some countries endorsed China over its repressive actions towards the Uyghur population. That was actually unprecedented. Let's explore the diverse reactions from foreign governments in this figure. You can pause the video and take a look at which countries shamed China and which ones either defended it or remained silent. Dark blue countries shamed China, red ones defended it. Light blue countries, on the other hand, chose to remain silent. The countries that remained silent were some Latin American countries, African countries, Kazakhstan, Turkey, Ukraine, Libya, India, and South Korea. Among these countries, some of them are Muslim and/or Turkic. Some nations strongly condemn China, labeling its actions as crimes against humanity and genocide. In October 2020, 39 states raised concerns and called for immediate access for independent observers in Xinjiang. The EU, UK, Canada, and US have imposed sanctions on senior Chinese officials. A puzzling turn of events, especially considering past condemnations by nations like Pakistan, Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Saudi Arabia. So let's learn which countries defended, condemned, or remained neutral. Spoiler alert, it's not always what you might expect. First question then is, does trade influence denouncements or endorsements? This map shows the strength of trade links with China. Darker the color, the more trade links the country has with China. Second question then is about the role of democracy in state responses. Are democratic nations more likely to condemn, or does silence prevail? This violent plot illustrates the position of countries with respect to their regime type. The vertical line represents democracy score, whereas the three colors represent the position. As seen, non-democracies defended China while democracies mostly take a negative stance against China. And the third question, how does shared identity with the affected population influence governments worldwide? More clearly, do Muslim or Turkic countries shame China? The model here explores state responses to China's Uyghur policies. In case you are having a hard time understanding these tables, I will explain it in simple terms. The first column under independent variables is the list of explanatory variables. They aim to explain why some countries defended China and why some others denounced it. The second and third columns are our dependent variables. They are waiting there to be explained by the explanatory variables. If the coefficient has some stars on them, it means that this explanatory or independent variable is doing a good job in giving an answer. For example, the stronger trade ties with China decreases the probability of denouncing China's actions against the Uyghur population. However, it cannot explain why some countries defend it. So what does it say overall? Whilst democracy is linked to a lower likelihood of defending China, identity factors like a country's Muslim population or Turkic majority reveal unexpected patterns. I would expect from Turkic and Muslim countries to increase the probability of shaming, but it seems they don't. Just because these countries are Muslim and or Turkic does not mean that they will defend Uyghur population according to these results. Another result. The better a country has human rights records, the less likely this country to defend China. This was expected, but the effects of ethnic and religious identities are rather unexpected and puzzling. Countries that adopt a similar voting pattern in the United Nations General Assembly, as seen on the first row, are more likely to defend China. So overall, this research answers an interesting question: why some countries defend human rights violations abroad. I will continue presenting interesting research on contemporary politics. Stay engaged, stay informed.